Good morning. This is Tom at Talon Guitar Works. I'm a licensed repair facility in Southwest Florida. Still waiting on my building, working out of my garage. That's another story. This is a test shot for YouTube because we've been picking apart every portion of and component of what goes into making these videos to get the volume right. I'm getting a lot of complaints from subscribers saying the volume is too low. And while on a TV set you could correct that and raise the volume level and get it to where you can hear me, on a handheld device or on an iPad, something like that, or a laptop, you may not have that range of volume to increase it to where you can hear this. So this video is going to have a transcription underneath it, hopefully, or a transcription that goes along with it, where you can read through the parts if it's too low. Now, we've tried the Aerocaster. I've tried my Rhodes microphone with the Aerocaster. I've tried the iPad alone. I've tried doing a bunch of different stuff. I have a sneaky suspicion that it's my internet provider because it's suddenly taken me 12 and a half hours to upload a 7-minute video. And I'll flame them later because they're claiming that I'm using too much bandwidth when I only have one thing turned on in the whole house at a time. And we'll see. But anyway, we're going to redo this 5-way import switch and how to get the right 5-way import switch for your guitar. And you got to pay attention to this because I've been doing this stuff for 20 years and wiring these import switches, and usually it's very simple. If somebody comes in with a 5-way import switch that they don't want, it's a Fender style guitar, we switch them out with an Oak Grigsby. And voila, the switch is fine. These switches, because they are PC board switches, tend to wear out a little bit faster or a lot faster than an Oak Grigsby switch. So, that being said, what I never came across was alternate wiring of the switch to where the switch's PC board was set up for something that was out of the norm for positions 1 through 5. And my friend brought his Fender Showmaster guitar in that was made in Korea. The original Showmaster was a set neck version of the Stratocaster type guitar, except it didn't have a pickguard, it had the rear cavity, and it also had a set neck on it. Now, the reissues of those Showmasters came out of Korea, so once again we go to an import switch. So I wired the new switch that I had purchased on Amazon real quick because I really don't have a calling for 5-way switches, or didn't at that time, of the import variety, and I have tons of Oak Grigsby stuff. So I wired it exactly to the way the original Showmaster was wired. The Showmaster came in for a setup, but when it was tested, found out that the position for the bridge pickup did not work. So, quick fix, order a new switch off Amazon. A couple days it'll get here, I'll put it in, wire it up, and it'll be good to go. And it wasn't. It was horrendous, and I wired it over and over again thinking, what have I done wrong? And definition of insanity, repeating the same thing over and over, looking for a different outcome. Yeah, that was me. So I went to my reference materials. And one of my reference materials I strongly suggest, it's not free, but it's good, is this book by Jerry Hayes. It's got a foreword written by Dan Erlewine from StewMac fame, and on page 34, it's got that switch. And it goes into a little bit of detail, but then later on in the book, in the Ibanez wiring diagrams, it explains a little bit more. And what happened when Ibanez got a hold of these PC board switches, and for their artist model guitars, they wanted them to do weird things in different positions, depending on the artist. Like position 1 is usually the neck pickup, full on, for a humbucker, both north and south neck pickup. Well, maybe they had an artist who said, look, I want the neck pickup north pole, and I want the middle pickup, single coil pickup, on position 1. So they put it on the PC board and wire away. And position 2, I want those two in series. And in position 3, I want the south pickup of the neck and the bridge pickup north in parallel. and you know, they could do all these wild things, or I want them out of phase. And this happened on some of the artist models to where the normal positions of the switch, where it would be full on neck, half middle, or one pole of the neck, both pickups on full, half bridge pickup, half middle, if it was there, and full on bridge pickup. That's the standard wiring that people assume. Now I know somebody's out there typing right now saying, Tom, why didn't you just put an Oak Grigsby in? Well, I did. And it stuck out of the back cavity like the Ferris wheel in London. You couldn't miss it. I couldn't get the cover back on it. It was too tall. So I found out then that they make a compact switch, based. See how much difference there is in that, right? So I needed the compact switch. Now, who makes the compact switch? I went to my distributor, which is CE Distribution, which does a really good job. They're a wholesaler, and because I have a business and a business license, I can get those. And I got this Alpha switch, which is of the short variety, and it's of the standard wiring schematic to where I could put it in and get the desired responses from the pickups the customer wants. So if you're dealing with Ibanez switches in particular, and there are some other manufacturers that do stuff. Shaler's got some interesting switches, and they put them in some of the import guitars. I haven't seen one of the Shalers yet, but I'm sure I will. And on the Ibanez guitars, there is an entire website dedicated to the Ibanez guitars and how to wire them up. And there's also a very hard time you'll have if you try to contact Ibanez USA. I've called them, it says the phone number is no longer working, or it says they can't connect me to the phone number, and email responses generally take a week or two. I get it. I'm a repair facility. I'm not a customer buying stuff. I don't go to the head of the line because I call them and I need to know something. You know, it's not like that. So it's going to take you some time, but there are a lot of wiring diagrams on Seymour Duncan's page, because Ibanez generally uses Duncan pickups. Now, I did have a question, and I got it answered by a good friend of mine, Ken Armstrong. I noticed that on the wiring schemes from different pickup manufacturers, and we're going to do a whole video just on this, that it shows the twisted pair changing. So on some of the guitars out there, guitar pickups, you'll see a red and white twisted pair, which automatically means that black is hot, green is ground, and the bare is also a ground. And this is on the 5-wire lead that comes off the pickup. If you have a symmetrical pickup, meaning both poles are wound identical, and you connect the opposite, so like if they connected red and white, so you connect black and green instead, you have still wired that pickup basically the same way, just in the opposite direction. Could it have phasing problems? Possibly. Your mileage may vary per pickup. But if you see an Ibanez pickup or Ibanez diagram with Seymour Duncan's where the wiring pattern shifts, keep this in mind, because there are some with the wiring pattern shifted. Now, on the Armstrong pickups that I normally put in on the custom builds I do and everything, it's kind of simple. Red is always hot, green, grass, earth, ground, right? And then black and white is the twisted pair. People try and use different color codings, and they do use different color codings on the different pickup manufacturers, and you get into problems when you use a replacement pickup that's not of the same manufacturer, and you try and wire it into the switch, and suddenly you have all kinds of problems. So on that video, I'm going to show you where to find and how to get and download and print in color, not black and white, the pickup wiring leads that are out there and published. So this is Tom from Talon Guitar Works. Only half my ideas are any good. You have to decide which half. and hope you're having a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. And I hope you can all hear me. This is getting painful.